Hello, good morning. I hope you're all fine and healthy at home. Welcome to our first pre recorded lesson far away from home. Today we are going to do correction for reading, which is paper 1 for both classes 3H and 3C. If you remember, I've already given you back your test papers right before the holiday. Okay, so right now what I am going to do with you is I'm going to show you how to do the correction for reading paper 1. So before we start, make sure you have your listening and speaking exercise book, because you will have to do your correction in that exercise book. If any of you from 3C or 3H who do not have the listening and speaking exercise book, you may use any exercise book that you have except essay. Now here we have part 1. Okay, question 1 to 8 is a multiple choice question. Okay, now for this section, what I want you to do is I want you to copy the question. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example on this piece of paper right here. So let's say if you got question 1 wrong. Okay, so on your exercise book, I want you to write it like this. So as usual, start by writing part 1, okay, and underline it. You don't have to copy this instruction. It is not necessary. But what I want you to do is just copy like this, part 1. Then you go to the question. Okay, so on your exercise book, listen very carefully. Exercise book, copy part 1, question 1. If you get question 1 wrong, this is just an example. Okay, contoh sahaja. So, copy the entire question.
Mommy, there are so many, Mommy.
Okay, my handwriting here is not so neat, but I am just trying this method for the first time. Don't worry if you cannot see what I am writing. Just go and look at your question paper. Look at your question paper for the questions. Okay, so like this. Part 1, question 1, copy the question. Now the answer for part 1, question 1 is C. Okay, so you can use a different pen which will make it neater. Right under there you write C, and then write out the answer. Yes, I know some of you remember this. If you remember and you already started your correction, good for you. Tahniah. But if you have not, then this is how I want you to do your correction. Okay? So I hope this is very simple. So on this question, you don't have to copy the graphics. No need. You don't even have to photostat. Tak payah photostat, tak payah salin, tak payah lukis. Alright? Tidak penting. So just do it like this. So this is for part 1. Any question, please WhatsApp me. okay, in the WhatsApp group. Now let's go to part 2.
Part 2. I don't want to want this.
Okay, part 2 is the grammar question. Okay, as you can see, there is a whole text here. Tak payah salin. You do not have to copy this. What I want you to do is start by writing part 2. Okay, so this is the example. Part 2, underline. Okay, buat macam ni. Now, let's say in part 2, you get question 9 wrong. Okay, number 9, saw. Jawapan betul ialah seen. So, let's say if you get it wrong, so what I want you to do is, I want you to copy the whole line. You see that? Okay. The whole line for question 9 is, the lights are 9. Saw above the magnetic poles of the northern and southern hemisphere. Copy that right under part 2. So I'm going to do this one for you. Okay, I'm going to stop here. The lights are number 9. Now the wrong answer is, the question is saw. Okay, now the answer is seen. So instead of writing saw, just write out the answer straight away and then underline. You can highlight this, you can use a different pen color, it's up to you. As long as it is obvious that that is the correct answer. And then after that, you just finish off the sentence.
I want to fight in the ocean and want to wiggle in the Vegas. Baby, I want this one.
Okay, so for class 3H, okay, cikgu ulang. Okay, macam mana nak buat pembetulan part 2? Okay, now first, like I said, write out part 2. And then, if you get question 9 wrong, okay, now I'm going to show you the question again. Okay, now question 9 is saw. The lights are, number 9, saw above the magnetic poles of the northern and southern hemisphere. Okay, now let's say if you get number 9 wrong, then all you have to do is write out the whole line. Salin satu line itu sampai habis. Tetapi soalan itu yang salah tu, you write out the correct answer, which is seen. Okay? Now, please WhatsApp me if you did not receive the full answer scheme again. Okay, remember you have to finish this during the lockdown. Don't do it in school when we come back to school. Okay? Alright, now that's part 2. So let's move on to part 3. Okay, part 3. Part 3 is about filling in the blanks. Maximum 3 words. Okay. So macam part 1 tadi, you don't have to photostat this text. Tak payah. What you have to do is just write out part 3. That's it. And then you stop there. Then you go to the question. This one is quite straightforward. Now, I want you to copy the whole mind map. Okay? Now, walaupun ada yang dapat betul, for example, number 17 until number 24, let's say awak salah 3 saja, contoh. But I still want you to copy the entire mind map. Okay? Copy all of the mind map, semua ni. Dan pastikan awak beri ruang yang cukup supaya, you know, when you write down your answer, you will not have double lines. Pastikan ruang yang mencukupi. Okay, so I'm going to just write down part 3 for you, but I will not write this whole mind map for you. Okay, cikgu ulang. Untuk part 3, the whole mind map, tolong salin. Lukis macam mind map juga. Okay, now I'm going to just write out part 3 here. Tapi cikgu takkan lukis mind map itu sekarang because agak memakan masa. Okay, so just tulis part 3 macam ni. Write down part 3. Of course, habiskan dulu. Okay, finish all your correction for part 1 and part 2. And this one, remember, ini hanya contoh. Okay, habiskan dulu. So, part 3. And then, lukislah mind map ni. Okay, contoh ha. Okay. Now we move on to part 4. Now, part 4, you will also have a text. Like in part 3, once again, no need to photostat the text. Okay. Just copy part 4. Alright. And the question. Soalan. Apa yang awak salah saja. Okay, only the wrong ones. So I'm just going to write an example. Let's say you got number 25 wrong. Okay, so this is how you do it. So I'm going to move to the next page. Remember, buat dengan kemas. Part 4. So just like that. And then, now straight away write question 25. When machines were introduced during Britain's Industrial Revolution, there was a rise in. And then you answer here. Now the answer scheme for number 25 is consumers products. So you can also use a different pen color, but don't use red. You can use black or blue. Consumers products. Okay. There you go. Teruskan buat semua soalan yang salah sahaja. Okay. Only write the questions that you get wrong. Now, last but not least, let's go to part 5. Okay, part 5 is filling in the gaps. Now, this one I have to specifically ask that you do a bit of work for part 5. Okay, untuk part 5, untuk soalan ini, all of my classes 3C and 3H, tolong salin semua dalam kotak ini. Yes. You heard me? Kenapa? Alright. First, I noticed that a lot of you did not perform well in this section, which I understand, but this is only 6 questions, and we are trying to be very particular in which question that we can score at. So, I'm hoping that part 5 will be one of the question where we can score. So, untuk kedua-dua kelas cikgu, 3C and 3H, lepas salin part 5 macam biasa, go ahead and copy the entire question on, the entire text on Australian Aboriginal culture. Dan tempat kosong ni, you see number 1 here, it's missing. So the answer scheme here for number 1 is F. It's actually not number 1. It's actually question 35. So I'm going to just replace this 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and the last question 40. Now 35, because 35 is F, I don't want you to write F. Jangan tulis macam ni. Okay, instead I want you to go to F. Okay, tengok F ni dan salin semua ayat ini, salin ayat ini dan letak di sini. Okay, do not write 35F. Instead, please write 35 and then copy the sentence into the missing blank. All right. Okay. Now, to summarize for part 5, only for part 5, please copy the entire text and write down the whole sentence into the missing blank. Jangan tulis 35F ataupun 36B contoh. Tulis ayat yang dah diberi dalam jawapan. Okay, but make sure you underline the answer so that I know that that's the correct answer, or you can use a different pen color so that I know that you have already made your correction. So, let's recap. Okay, sekarang cikgu akan ulang semula apa yang cikgu dah bincang. Now, let's go to part 1. Part 1, okay, very simple. Just copy part 1 and the question and the right answer only. Only do correction for the ones that you get wrong. All of you, both classes. Okay, buat macam ni. Okay, part 1, number 1. Kalau number 1 salah, then tulis di number 1, question, answer. For part 2, tulis atau salin ayat yang awak dapat salah, ayat untuk soalan yang awak salah. For example, number 9, you get number 9 wrong. Write down the entire sentence. underline the correct answer or please use a different pen color. For part 3, very simple. You don't have to copy the instruction, just write part 3 dan salin semua graph stimuli ini. Please copy the entire graph. It doesn't matter if you get 1 or only 2 wrong, you have to copy the entire thing and write down all of the answers in the boxes. Part 4. Part 4, okay, copy part 4, question 25, and then the entire sentence plus the correct answer, and then underline. And last but not least, part 5. Part 5 is the missing in the blank just now. Like I said, copy part 5 first, underline, and then copy the entire text on Australian Aboriginal culture. Fill in the sentence of the correct answer. Do not put in the alphabet. Jangan buat macam ini. Buat salin ayat dengan penuh. Tapi gunakan pen berlainan warna supaya cikgu tahu itu jawapan kamu. Okay, so that is all for paper 1 reading. I'm going to stop the video here and we will continue our lesson on essay writing.